Hey, what's up everyone? Jake with Nash Power Sports. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing awesome. I just got back from my demo ride on a bike that I've been anxiously awaiting. Everyone has. It's the all-new Suzuki DRZ 400. Now, this bike's been highly anticipated because for 24 years this bike's never been altered. This bike's been the exact same since 2001 when it came out. That's not necessarily a bad thing because it's always been a staple of the dual sport world. It's a bike that you can basically customize and turn it into whatever you want. It's got a bulletproof, reliable engine, a capable chassis, and a vast aftermarket. So you can take a DRZ 400 and make it kind of whatever you need it to be. An adventure bike, a supermoto, turn it into a little track bike. But this is the all-new version. They've improved it in every way you can think of. I actually read the spec sheet on this bike a few months back, and I was disappointed because it didn't get a sixth gear. It didn't get a big bump in horsepower. So I was, at first glance, a little disappointed. But after I rode it, I can tell you wholeheartedly, it's a better bike in every way than the one it replaces. So it doesn't make more power, but it makes better power everywhere in the rev range. The engine's been completely reworked. It's been modernized. It's got pretty cool electronics package now. You've got a new TFT display, all LED lighting, lots of improvements. So I'm going to start going over what they've done to this. So aesthetically, it's a much more modern looking bike. You've got now a single kind of LED headlight here instead of an old rectangular halogen headlight. The body lines have been sharpened up. It's definitely a sleeker looking bike. I mentioned the engine's been reworked. A lot of the internals are all new. This now meets Euro 5 emissions requirements. It also has an all new electronics package. So a much more modern display here. You've got ride modes. So there's an A, B, and a C mode that you can toggle through. A mode is going to be your sharpest throttle response for performance riding. B mode is kind of your default setting for riding around town and such. And then the C mode is going to be a real soft throttle response. That's going to be very beginner friendly, or you can use that as like a rain mode. You've also got multi-stage traction control here. So you can actually put this in. There's 1, 2, off, and gravel. So gravel is going to be kind of your off-road setting, or if you want no traction control off-road, you can turn it completely off, which is cool. Everything about this bike has been modernized. From the cockpit, the seat is comfortable, and I just took this for a rip in the twisties and had a blast with it. So it rails corners. The bike feels light and nimble, and the power characteristics, even though it doesn't make more peak power, it felt more powerful throughout the rev range. So you're hitting peak torque earlier in the RPM range. Now that it's fuel injected, just the overall like throttle response and power delivery is better. Fuel injection, that's a night and day difference between a carbureted bike. Who wants to mess with carburetor needles, you know, at different altitudes and such, and then you got to wait for it to warm up, all of that. So this is a much more modern motorcycle than the one it replaces, and I think this is going to be a home run for the dual sport community once we get the dual sport model. You know, I had a Honda CRF 450X, which was a really cool bike, but that had oil change intervals of every 500 miles. So this is going to be bomb proof reliable. You're going to have long service intervals on this bike. This is going to be a bike you can take anywhere, do anything on, and it's just going to be a very versatile, fun platform to personalize and I'm excited to see how this thing sells. I have no doubt this thing's going to be a success. So that's kind of my overview of it right now. I'm going to give you a more extensive review once we get them here. I'm going to take out a dual sport and spend some time with it. I only had about 45 minutes to ride this today, but I made the most of it. I rode it around in traffic. I got it out on the highway, rode it through some twisties, and I had a great time on this bike. I was a little nervous that, no sixth gear, how it would do on the highway. I can tell you this bike pulls strongly up to 85 miles per hour. On a bike like this with no windshield, no wind protection, do you want to be going faster than that? Probably not. So, impressive bike. I'm glad I got to experience it today, and I'm looking forward to selling these here in the next week or two. We're going to have them. So, hit me up if you have any questions. I'd love to show you one in person, tell you all about it. Have a great day. I'm out.